Hello, everyone. Welcome to the World Tapping Circle. I'm your host, Sonya Sophia, and I am so glad that you're here with us today. Good choice. Good job. Today's circle is a powerful circle. It's meant to give you strength, courage, and the ability to dare to be different. Holding that space for yourself, holding that space for your values, holding that space for your moral compass, holding that space against all odds in a culture that may still be reforming and growing and maturing. And you might be on the early arrival team, holding some value, holding some idea, holding a perspective, holding wisdom, holding an invention, holding a way of doing things that is different. So whatever that is with your freaky flag that you're flying quietly inside, or maybe you're just, barely letting yourself even see it, this is going to be helpful to help you unleash yourself and to become more powerfully clear and honestly in integrity with what is actually true for you. So thank you to those of you joining us live. I see you chiming in the chat to say hello. Let us know where you're logging in from. I see some familiar names. Diane says, Lions, love it. Here from Bellingham, Washington. Somebody says, swoosh from Austin. Julie in Charlotte. Barbara, hello to you in Kansas City. Christina says, meow in Santa Rosa. Elizabeth from Sonoma. Tracy in Alberta, Canada. Hello to all of you beautiful beings. I can't wait to do this tap, really. This is a powerful one, and I'm a really big fan of courage. It takes so much strength to break down the cultural conditioning, to break down the family pain, to digest and transform the way that you were taught to be in school, the way the media portrays men or women, and all of that stuff that we see in magazines, billboards, TV shows, songs. And to be able to say, wait a second, what's actually true for me? And to be able to separate yourself from who your family wants you to be, who a lover wants you to be, who your children want you to be, and actually be true to yourself. Not out of rebellion, not out of, well, they did it this way, so I'm going to go to the other extreme and do it this way, but actually to say, okay, regardless of the part of me that wants to rebel, regardless of the part of me that is, still pushing or pulling away, what's actually true for me, and then to have the courage to live that. I think you'll find that as you learn to navigate from that place of authentically tuning into who you are as a soul and what your own heart says and what your own deepest true self says, that your life will become more refined and more aligned and easier and more affluent, more creative, more able to create positive impact and change. That's why it's worth doing this work. A, it brings you inner peace. B, your impact to create a healthier, happier world grows every time you take the clog and the pain and the fear and the blame and the sadness and the anger and all of that stuff out of your own nervous system. Remember, people make the planet. So what's happening to one of us is often happening to the collective. As one of us shifts it, we all get more free. Okay? So thank you for doing your work for you and for me. I'm going to say hi to a couple more people, then we are going to jump into the core causes questions. Hi, Diane. Hi, Leroy. Hi, Denise in San Diego. Elizabeth says, I'm here twice. Tara says hello in Chicago. Putina. Grateful says, grateful you're holding the session today. Yes, we need to stay true to ourselves. All right. For those of you on the live broadcast with me, you've just seen the core causes questions live link survey pop up. Remember that this is just for you to get down into your good self. These are questions meant to awaken what's in the sub-basement of your subconscious so that you can actually see what's there. Remember, the subconscious isn't a place that is inaccessible. It's just like going into the basement of your house. Most of us don't think about the basement. We don't go down there, but there is a door under our stairs and there is a light bulb, and you can go down and sort through boxes that are at the foundation of your being that you've actually built the rest of your life on, and you can start editing those things and deciding what you want to keep and what you want to throw away and creating more space to do something more interesting with. So that's what we're doing. We're going to go into the subconscious with the core causes questions. Take 5 minutes, answer these questions for yourself to the best of your ability so that we can start our tap from the deepest place possible to give you the most relief possible in the shortest amount of time. 5 minutes, off you go. All right, sweet beings. Thank you for taking a moment to get down with your good self, to start looking at what's been happening inside you. Hopefully that was insightful. Half of the work sometimes is just asking yourself, what's going on? How long has this been going on? How do I really feel? What have I been thinking? Who do I blame? What's going on inside me? The second half is getting it out of your cellular memory. So what we're doing today is 3 things: body, mind, and spirit. We are accessing the meridian points of the body, helping the electricity flow through the acupuncture meridians by gently percussively tapping on them. We're doing some deep breathing and allowing the stored stress that's been accumulating and backing up inside of our nervous system, which has cost us a lot, right? It costs us blurting things out or shutting down and ducking down. We're allowing ourselves to notice what's going on as we tap. We're just bringing acceptance, empathy, and compassion, which is the spiritual part. And those 3 things, body, the tapping, mind, assessing, and spirit, empathy, boom, quantum leap forward. Body will discharge the stored stress. Mind will self-correct. Old files will delete. And now you have space to create and be yourself, your big, bold, beautiful self. All right, into the tapping portal we go. Let's go. Come on. All right, giving yourself a deep breath, finding the collarbones, dropping down 4 to 6 inches to the front of the chest, pressing around until you find a sore or a tender spot in the front of the chest, upper breast tissue, upper pectoral region. Give it a light massage and a deep breath. Tuning into the issue of your choice. Repeating after me, remembering that you can change the words as needed. And if you're watching this on replay video, you can pause the video, slow the process down, and take your time. Repeating after me, even though I have this issue, I'm open to loving and accepting myself. Tapping the eyebrows, even though I have this issue about, and then say or think loudly, if you don't have privacy, what your issue is about. Tapping the temples. It's okay. I'm open to loving and accepting myself. Big deep breath. Tapping the cheeks, this issue. And then say what that issue is for you. Tapping under the nose. I'm open to loving and accepting myself. Tapping under the lips, even if I continue to struggle with. And then say what that is. Big deep breath. Tapping the chest. Part of me feels really different. And just describe for 30 seconds, how does having this issue make you feel different? Maybe it makes it harder for you to think. Maybe it brings unwanted attention or more attention than you feel comfortable with to you. Keep talking, tapping down to the front of the ribs. Tapping the side of the ribs. Repeating after me, even though part of me feels different, separate from, because of this. Big deep breath. Soft, relaxed jaw, strong exhalation, tapping the inside of the wrist. I'm open to loving and accepting myself, even with this discomfort of feeling separate, isolated, alone, different. Tapping the side of the thumb. Tapping as you feel into how different does this actually make you feel. And describe that for a second. It makes me feel different than the other women, or it makes me feel different than people my age, or it makes me feel different sexually. Tapping the index finger. I don't like this feeling. And let's just acknowledge for a moment that as much as we pride ourselves on being unique and different, there's a part of us that also doesn't like feeling outside of the group. We want to be accepted by a certain group of people. It might be a certain group of misfits. It might be a certain group of people that are very different, but there's a part of us that longs to be held in a container of like-minded others. Wanting to find our group, our peers, our family. Tapping the middle finger. Part of me wants to be accepted. And breathe. Tapping the bottom of the fourth finger. Part of me really wants to be accepted. I'm tapping the little finger. I'm open to loving and accepting myself. Tapping the side of the hand. Even though part of me longs to be accepted. By who? Tapping the top of the head. This part of me that I judge for still wanting to be accepted, to be received. Tapping the eyebrows, and let's just see if we can release some of that judgment from wanting to be received and understood, acknowledged, appreciated. Tapping the cheeks. Part of me, secretly or blatantly, wants to be received. Tapping into the nose, to be respected, admired. Tapping under the lips and breathe. Tapping the chest. Part of me at least wants to be understood, heard, seen. Tapping the front of the ribs. I want to be appreciated, included. Tapping the side of the ribs. This part of me that wants to belong. Big deep breath, big sigh. Tapping the inside of the wrist. I'm open to loving and accepting myself. Tapping the side of the thumb. Tapping the index finger even with this part of me that wants to fit in. Tapping the middle finger. There's another part of me that wants to be who I actually am. So let's just shift and focus on that other part of ourselves that wants to be who we really are. And we might not know anyone similar to us or exactly like us. And we like that feeling of being different and unique and being that rugged individualist. Tapping the little finger. I appreciate the part of me that wants to be different. Tap the side of the hand. The part of me that knows that what I'm doing is unique. That how I'm being is important, even if it's very rare. And tapping the top of the head. I'm open to loving and accepting myself. Even if I feel terminally unique. Tapping the sides of the head, the back of the head. Terminally unique. No one's going to get it. I feel so different. Tapping the eyebrows. Tune in and see, do you feel sad about that or do you feel proud of it? Sometimes we build an identity about being so different that we choose not to fit in anywhere we go and that we pride ourselves, which actually can create kind of an awkwardness, a feeling of always being outcast, and maybe even othering ourselves, putting ourselves in some other space because that's what we're used to. Tapping under the lips. This pain around being different. Tapping the chest and breathe. Tuning in, what is that pain for you? Do you feel like you're ahead of your time, or maybe you feel like you're behind the times? I'm tapping the front of the ribs. I'm open to loving and accepting myself. Tap the side of the ribs, even if there's this part of me that struggles with being different. Because, and then tapping the inside of the wrist, and let's talk about that for a second. Take 1 whole minute and discuss with me here, not in the chat, but just out loud into the screen, why it bothers you and what the problems are related to feeling so different. Keep tapping and talking. Tapping the side of the thumb and breathing. Tapping the index finger. Keep talking. What's hard to accept about this? Tap the middle finger. I'm open to loving and accepting myself. Big deep breath. Tapping the bottom of the 4th finger, even if I continue to feel alone. Disconnected. Targeted. Tap the little finger, afraid. Big deep breath, big sigh, tuning into what particularly bothers you the most about you daring to be different. Tapping the top of the head. Even though there's a part of me that has a hard time daring to be different. And I feel this tension come up. Tap the eyebrows. What is that tension for you? Is it a fear of speaking up? Or a fear of standing out, looking different or sounding different? Big deep breath, tapping the front of the cheeks and sigh. Relaxing that jaw, strong exhalation, tapping under the nose. I'm releasing this tension from my body, tapping under the lips. Including the root of this, tapping the chest, and tune into the root. Maybe it's a physical sensation that it's like, oh, this clenching in the stomach is the root. I don't really know when this started. Or maybe you're like, I know exactly when this started. I was in elementary school. I was bullied. I was made fun of. Somebody punched me. Tapping the front of the ribs. It's possible the root of this comes from, and then say what you think it's connected to. And breathe. Tapping the side of the ribs. The root of this started back when, and then say when you think it may have started. And it's okay if you don't know. You can say, I'm open to discovering when this started. Tapping the inside of the wrist and breathing. I'm open to loving and accepting myself. Tap the side of the thumb. I'm allowing myself to release the stress. Tap the index finger from this early memory. And discuss for 30 seconds when you think this started. I was 3. The other kids picked on me. Big deep breath. Keep talking and tapping. Tapping the middle finger and breathing. Tapping the bottom of the 4th finger. I give myself the possibility of finally bringing the light of day to this painful, traumatic, or abusive moment. Tap the little finger where, and then describe again what little clips of memory or feelings or sensations that you think are connected to when this issue started for you. Tapping the side of the hand and breathing. It's safe to release this old experience from my body now. And breathe. I actually survived. And I'm here. Tapping the sides of the head, the back of the head. It's safe to release the remaining trauma stored in my body, stored in my mind. And breathe, tapping the eyebrows, tapping the temples, including what was the worst part of that, or what do you imagine was the worst part of that? Did you think you were going to die? Did you get expelled? Did you get beaten? Did you get teased? Did you get ignored? Did you get broken up with? What happened? Tapping the cheeks. I'm giving myself the possibility, tapping under the nose, of releasing the anxiety and the beliefs that were created because of this time in my life. Tapping the chest. This was a formative moment for me. A moment when I decided, what did you decide was true about you or true about the world or your place in the world because of that experience or that time in your life? I decided what? Tapping the front of the ribs. And breathe. Big deep breath. Relax jaw. Tapping the side of the ribs. I give myself permission to heal what happened. Tap the inside of the wrist, including releasing this thought that's played over and over in my mind, and say this limiting belief, this negative thought. Say it 3 times out loud. We're going to take the teeth out of it. Ready? What is that negative belief? Like, I'll never be included, or it's dangerous to be different. Big, deep, noisy breath. Tapping the side of the thumb. I'm open to loving and accepting myself, tapping the index finger, even if this has been how I've been for a long time. Tap the middle finger. I have believed, and then say this negative thought again, that I'm too much, that I'm not enough. Big deep breath. That I'm unacceptable. Tapping the bottom of the fourth finger. I have believed this and built my life around this idea as if it were true. Tap the little finger. This expectation, and then say the same negative thought again. Say it 3 more times. We're disconnecting it by bringing it into presence with us, calling it out, and doing it in a state of empathy. You're here with me. We have compassion for this part of you that's been spasming, that felt shamed, attacked, blamed, overlooked, left out, or just too weird. Tapping the side of the hand. It's safe to release this from my body now. Tapping the top of the head, including where it's affected and then say where you think it's physically affected you, where it's affected my brain, where it's affected my voice, where it's affected my eyes, my heart, my genitals, my spine. Tapping the eyebrows. I give myself permission to recover my strength. Tapping the temples. Tapping the cheeks. I give myself permission. Tapping under the nose. To recover my energy now. Tapping under the lips. I give myself permission to be who I am. Tap the chest. Even if it's unique, different, tapping the front of the ribs. Even if it takes a lot of courage, tap the side of the ribs. Tune into how much courage it takes to be you. Maybe you have a speech impediment, or maybe you're visually impaired, or maybe you feel super sensitive to people, to energy, to light, to sound, to criticism. Maybe you just feel really unique in some way, and it takes a lot of courage. Tap the side of the thumb. I'm open to loving and accepting myself, even though part of me might feel strange. Tap the index finger. And I'm still recovering from what? What are you recovering from? Being made fun of, being left out, being discounted. Big deep breath, big sigh. Tapping the middle finger. I'm allowing myself to return to myself. Tapping the bottom of the fourth finger. To feel accepted and held exactly as I am. Big deep breath. Tapping the little finger. So we did this a few videos back, but I want you to tune into that space between your molecules. That empty space that surrounds all things. Feeling into the quality of that space that is empty is actually touching everything. And by its very nature, accepting everything that is there. That's all it can do. There's nothing to resist. So tapping the top of the head, let yourself feel that acceptance that is in the space between your molecules, and breathe. And bring it to your situation. Your unique life, your unique voice, your unique spirit. Tap the eyebrows, letting yourself rest in this field of deep, open, spacious acceptance. Tapping the cheeks, allowing myself to be held by the space that holds everything together. Tapping under the lips. I give myself permission to be who I am, where I am, and what I am. Tapping the front of the ribs, forgiving myself and everyone who sent me the message that it wasn't okay. Tapping the side of the ribs, including who? Who are we going to forgive right now to get our energy back? Forgive my mom for judging me. Forgive my dad for getting mad at me. Forgive my sister for attacking me. Forgive my brother for beating me up. Forgive the kids at school. Forgive society. I'm releasing any remaining shame or embarrassment. Tapping the side of the thumb for being who I was back then. And describe who you were. Maybe you were buck-toothed and ugly. Maybe you were addicted and broken. I forgive myself for feeling bad about who I was. Tapping the middle finger. Allowing myself to release any shame, blame, self-attack, or feeling of being unworthy of love. Tuning into your body to see, is there a part of you that resists accepting love for that period in your life or for this person that you are now? And tapping the little finger, I give myself permission to receive compassion for who I am. Tapping the side of the hand for who I was. Tap the top of the head. And we're going to stretch and say, sending compassion to all those who help shape me, including in the painful and uncomfortable ways. Tapping the eyebrows because, tapping the temples, it gives me my power back. Tap the cheeks because, big deep breath. It gives me understanding and makes me want to help, right? So for me, being traumatized and abused in all these different ways that I was, it gave me compassion and understanding and a desire to find a solution to help people like me who had suffered. So tune in and see if this difference that you've had has also made you more wise and compassionate and put energy, money, time, and effort into wanting to help others who suffered in a similar way. Tapping the front of the ribs. I give myself the possibility, tap the side of the ribs, of allowing myself to be who I am. Tap the inside of the wrist. Having the courage to do what I know is right. Tap the side of the thumb. To be as I am, tap the index finger. To stand up, even if that singles me out, tap the middle finger. To be loud and proud, tap the bottom of the fourth finger. I allow myself to be self-expressed, tap the little finger. To show up for myself, regardless of who's looking and what they think about this, tapping the side of the hand. It's possible that we all feel different. Tap the top of the head. And that me being myself helps others feel safe to be who they are. Tapping the sides of the head and the back of the head. And tapping the eyebrows. I give myself permission. Tapping the temples. To release any remaining stress. Tapping the cheeks. About daring to be different. Tapping under the nose. I'm allowing myself to feel safe in this self-expression. Tapping under the lips. Safe to be who I am and what I am. Tapping the chest. Releasing my need to overly identify with it. Say that 3 times. Releasing my need to overly identify with it. I'm releasing my need to overly identify with this difference. Tap the front of the ribs. I don't need to stay stuck or to resist. Tapping the side of the ribs and breathe. Tapping the inside of the wrist. It's safe to be me. It's safe to be me. It's safe to be me. Tapping the side of the thumb and breathe. Tapping the index finger. I give myself the possibility of enjoying my own becoming. Tap the middle finger. We are all in the process of becoming. Tapping the bottom of the fourth finger. Becoming ourselves. Becoming free. Tap the little finger. Becoming more comfortable with who and what we're here to do. With who and what we are. Tap the side of the hand and breathe. I am a changing person. I am different at different stages in my life. Tap the top of the head. I don't have to feel ashamed or afraid of the different stages I've been through. Tap the eyebrows. I'm allowing them to process through now, including this one time. And then say what still feels a little bit like a snag. Tapping under the lips. I'm getting my power back. Tapping the chest. Coming home to myself. Good job. Tapping all over your body. Give a mighty roar. Letting yourself feel your true self. All right. How are you feeling? Some of you dropped in the chat what level of intensity you were feeling, or you thought about it at the beginning. Drop it in the chat now. Maybe you were at a hot 10. Maybe you're down to a cool 2. Where are you? What did you learn? And what are you committed to? Hopefully, part of what you're committed to is continuing to put tapping time into your week, bake that into your self-care so that you can continue to use this expediting tool to move through trauma issues and basically upgrade your personality and your ability to handle life, right? And I told you at the beginning, because we are forming the culture by the way we conduct ourselves and the way we feel. So the more of us that feel stable and able, the more our culture is stable and able to create a happy and healthy world. So it takes a second here for my chat to come in. While I'm waiting for the chat to come in, I am going to remind you that this is a circle run on a very small subscription rate, which I kept very low. A lot of people have told me I should be charging $50 a month. I'm like, yeah, well, when I was malfunctioning and stressed and depressed and suicidal and had chronic pain and all of these things, I couldn't afford $50 a month. Really, I couldn't really afford $10 a week. So I've dropped it to a minimum. It's less than $5 a week because I wanted to pay that forward. So hopefully, if you're making enough money to easily afford this, you'll be willing to donate today or occasionally to help us continue to grow and expand our teaching team and our ability to travel and teach at festivals and reach more and more people, which we just did. I just took 3 of my team and we got back from Miami teaching at an event called Unleashed. Hopefully you'll get emails from me about that in the future, and you'll come join me at one of these beautiful micro festivals. It's a sober event, and it's a very fun way to meet people who are into the transformational self-care movement. Okay, I'm reading a few of these. Gretchen said, this was interesting as I worked on my twin sister and me feeling different and feeling less than. Thank you. Somebody says, a 10 down to a 4. I'm committed to my integrity and more self-responsibility. Elizabeth said, I could not stay awake. Well, that means your subconscious is really struggling with this issue, Elizabeth. I recommend that you stand up, maybe even take me on a walk around the block. You don't have to look at me. You can just listen to the words, keep your body moving. It's worth going over this one again. It's probably pretty deep for you. Diane says, great topic. I hope I can be more brave now to be my special self without fear. Question, is there a reason why you mostly tap on the right hand? Probably because I'm right-handed. Actually, I tap with the right hand on my left hand more, but feel free to alternate hands. It doesn't seem to matter a whole lot. Joyce says, I was at a 10 down to a 5, perked up and refreshed, being my unique self and enjoying my differences from others, embracing my personality. Thank you. Leroy says, I feel relief from being able to forgive my tormentors and to see their actions were based on their fears. I feel glorious. Aw, congratulations. Barbara says, releasing the negative babbler that has plagued my mind for far too many years. A definite 10 way down to a 2. Love you, Sonya. Ah, good job. That is a relief, right? Tara says, from a 7 to a 2, 3 exclamation points, tapping on my fear about making good trouble at work. I'm committed to trusting that I have my own back no matter what obstacles are set in my way. I also heard an inner voice whispering to me about what other ways I'd like to use this tap in the days to come. So grateful that I will be able to access again in the future. Thank you for reminding me to mention it, Tara. We have all of these uploaded in the video library. Please use your video library, you guys. worldtappingcircle.com, members area, hundreds and hundreds of taps, all categorized for you, each with a unique label. And you can even just scroll through and just blindly click on one. People email us and tell us all the time about how amazing it is that that was like the oracle that they needed in that moment. So you could use it like an oracle or a tarot deck and just trust the process. Denise says, a 10 down to a 4. I'm feeling relief from a huge block I've been working on, and I feel a lot of progress from this tap. Thank you. Well, I'm so happy to hear that, and I'm so in love with this work because I like seeing how quickly and easily people can get free. I want you to remember that suffering is optional. I want that to be normal in our world, to know that as long as we have seen ourselves stay stuck, and we've seen our parents and our loved ones and society and movies all kind of repeat this, like people never change or they don't change that much, that we actually can change, and we do change. And it doesn't have to take that long. And it actually doesn't have to be that much work. It might be 10 hours of tapping, but it's not 10 years of sobbing, right? 10 hours, that's, not even a full day. So think about that. If you have an issue and you put 10 hours, meaning I did 10 of these sessions on that one topic, that's not even a day's worth of work, and you could be completely free. You might be free in 1 or 2 taps. A lot of you are free in 1. So, put that into perspective. Yeah, it takes a minute to turn yourself towards the thing that feels uncomfortable, but the payoff is so huge for you, for your body, for your longevity, for your lifespan, and for all the people who love you and are relying on you to be able to be there for them, and also to be fun to hang out with, to be easy to get along with. Oh, there's so many benefits to tapping, and I'm so grateful to be your fairy godmother and to help you remember who you are and what you're doing and how to get where you want to go. Speaking of that, my April training is around the corner. If you want to know about the new training dates for April, or the new training dates coming up in October, I am taking applications. I'm about to close the application process for April in the next week or so, and I am still taking applications for October. So train with Sonya, TRAIN, with Sonya, SONYA.US is the website. There's a link here in the chat for you to click on if you are interested in becoming a practitioner. I will be asking you how you think you might want to help people with it. A lot of people want the healing that comes in this training, but I'm wanting to help the people who want to help the people and who need the healing. So think about it, dream on it. We do have payment plans. I want to make this easy and accessible, and I also want you to know that there's so many of us working on this changing of the world thing, to feel supported wherever you are in your journey. All right, I'm going to leave you with a new song I heard this week for the first time. I absolutely love it. The artist is Maitreya. You can find them on Spotify. This song is called A Joyful Man, I think. Is that the right name of the song? We're about to put it here in the chat. I didn't write it down. I normally do. Thank you so much for your love, for your time, and for your presence. Enjoy the music, and I will see you in the circle next time.
Your heartbeat pulses to the rhythm of freedom. Your smile presses on the soul of the world. Your voice an echo ever calling me to come and know myself in this place unexplored. You've been a light in darkened places. Teach me what grace is, and to trust in the soul I've become. Oh, the magic of you and your heart's many faces, teaching to me my own wisdom. And you said, bring your intensity, bring your shame, bring all of yourself to me. I have the space. Bring your beauty and bring your love. Bring all of yourself to me. You are already enough. I see your courage in your deep surrender, ever patient meeting me where I am. Taught me to scream from the place my soul hurts, then planting my feet as I stand where I stand. Take my mind with a gentle turning, telling me I'm worthy. A hand on my back as I speak what I need. Oh, the magic of you, so wild and sturdy, showing the world what it means to be free. And you said, bring your intensity, bring your shame, bring all of yourself to me. I have the space. Bring your beauty and bring your love. Bring all of yourself to me. You are already enough. Ooh, 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 ooh. Already enough. Ooh, 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 ooh. Ooh, 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 ooh. Already enough, already enough, already enough. Bring your intensity. Bring your intensity. I want you to bring all of yourself to me. I want you to bring all of yourself to me, all of yourself to me, all of yourself to me. Bring me all of your sadness, your grief and your pain. Bring me all of your anger and all of your shame. I want all of you, I want every piece. I want you to bring all of yourself to me. I want you to bring all of yourself to me. I want you to bring all of yourself to me. I want you to bring all of yourself to me, all of yourself to me, all of yourself to me. Bring your intensity, bring your shame, bring all of yourself to me. I have the space. Bring your beauty and bring your love. Bring all of yourself to me. You are already enough. Ooh.